Hi guys, let's continue our discussion on this internet developer platform. In the last video, I talked about crossplay, why we are using crossplay. In this video, I am going to talk about our GUI and CLI part, which is I refer to Backstage. What is Backstage? Backstage is a tool which is open source, which has been used by Shopify. If you guys are aware of Shopify, the music app, they use this Backstage because they run the huge DevOps team. They run huge set of tools. A lot of data is flowing, lot of musics are there. So they offer this Backstage. So what happens now with this from your Git, you make your Backstage available to your developers. So then what happens? Your developer has ability to create templates. So what we will have multiple templates, and we have catalog. Catalog is where different services which is already running. Templates is to create a new service or new application. So then it also have integration with Git. Also, it will show where it is running. So basically, your user interface. It also will have a documentation for your application. We call it as developer portal as well, where you can have the documentation. If you are building an API product, how to use the API, how to consume the API, you can also have a documentation in the Backstage. Now, in this architecture, we have discussed about crossplane as a control plane to deploy your application to AWS or Azure, basically multi-cloud. But to deploy or where the request comes from, Backstage. As a developer, in the Backstage, I will select a template. In the template, I will choose what application I want to create, Java or Python or API or website. Then I click this template, I initiate it, it will create a new repo. I will give an app name for creating a new application. In the same app name, I will get a new repo created with all this pipeline included. And this repo will also have, with template will have as a dummy code or hello code, which will also be deployed into AWS if I choose the template for AWS, or Azure if I choose the template for Azure. Now this end to end is ready for me. It is already deployed. I can also see the details in my catalog. Now I will go to my catalog in Backstage and see the application name which I created, and I will get the details of the created Git. Because it is created in Git, I want to clone the repo and I have to do my development. So all those details will be there in the catalog. Once I do the new changes, I push and commit the code. Then from the Git, the control plane, which is crossplane in this case, takes the changes happening here and automatically deploys to AWS. As a developer, you don't need to set up all this. The platform has all this functionality, and you use Backstage, or if you are a platform team, you are providing this Backstage as a user interface for your developer. When I talk about CLI, you can make a custom CLI using Python or whichever language you prefer. But let's keep Backstage on. So you will make, if developer is doing something which is not available, then you need to have a new template for it. Okay. Hope I think we have come across many components. In next videos, we have to see some action, some demos, some hands-on. It's about how this internet developer platform, how we can build it. And if you guys have any questions, you definitely can ask in the comments. But make sure that you understand this. What is internet developer platform? Why you use it? Then you see the value of it. Then you have to learn yourself. And anyway, we will learn together. But uh, uh, I hope why we are doing this when DevOps is exist. And will DevOps will go away if internal DevOps platform will come? No, DevOps will be still there. Your internal developer platform needs to also manage DevOps basically. It is like cloud computing where you had your server, then Amazon was managing your server. Instead, you are creating a Git repo. Now, platform will create a Git repo and it will manage it. You will use the code and you don't worry about managing your configurations about Git or pipeline or deployment script. You're writing your Terraform code or CloudFormation code. You're managing your database or auto scaling, your disaster recovery. You want to deploy multi-regional deployment, then you have to configure your pipeline for multi-region, EU West 1, EU West 2, or Stockholm, Switzerland. You have to configure. All those configurations are available in templates for you, and you can start with it. Once you started a new application, you can manage your applications from the catalog. You make the changes, you make the application to deploy it in your environment. Everything is self-service, no request, all those things. Like you have to create a request because if you're not deployed in SIT, you can't deploy in UAT. If you're not deployed in UAT, you can't deploy in production. So all the control mechanisms are already there in the platform. So your process also can be automated. If you think when the person is want to change request, because CRQ solves a different purpose of when is your downtime, I have to notify to your customer that this application will go down. Then you can integrate your control plane with ServiceNow or whatever tool you use. Okay, so like au- automation is the core, but today we are using automation, but we are using different things. One thing I missed to tell here is the logging and monitoring and security. So now when you have this AWS, Azure, and Google, you also have to have logging and monitoring configured. It can be your Dynatrace or Datadog. It's also part of your template where your application is deployed and automatically logs it. And you get a dashboard where your catalog will show which dashboard you have to go to see your monitoring. That dashboard link is basically Dynatrace or Grafana, but your catalog will have where you can monitor your application. When it comes to security or security report, you do the vulnerability scanning. It will be part of your template which is initiated, but in a catalog you will see where you can go and see your vulnerabilities of your containers, right? So basically, everything is automated and all the things are available in the catalog for that application for the developers to do. But this part is the area where DevOps engineers need to think about rather than thinking about just Git or SonarQube or your Nexus, whatever tool it is. Think about building a platform. Okay, I hope you got some knowledge about developer platform. Let's. I will talk about more in the like. We will see some hands-on in the next videos. I hope this would help you. Thank you, guys. See you. Bye.